Hi, if you are feeling stressed out and anxious, be sure to watch this video all the way through, as I'm going to walk you through an exercise and a meditation that should have you more relaxed and centered in a matter of minutes. For the best less is more approach to personal development, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button and the bell to be notified of when I send out content like this every week. This technique that I'm about to share with you is the same one that I use with my clients to help them go from stressed out and anxious to more calm and centered and open to more creativity and clarity. So in my humble opinion, one of the keys that really helps this exercise work for you is to take a look at what is stress and anxiety, what is actually going on, what is the mechanism that creates stress. So if we take a look at stress, it's common knowledge that stress happens inside of the body. When we have stressful thinking, we feel stress in the body, right? There's a mind-body connection there. If you take a look at something like an ulcer, it's common knowledge that a doctor will say, well, listen, you're probably a little stressed out. Find a way to relax, right? So it's thought that creates the feeling in our body. Now this is key because once we're able to see that on a deeper and deeper level, well then it just becomes a matter of changing our relationship with the thoughts and the feelings. So this is going to be a key aspect in this exercise moving forward. And in my opinion, it's something that you can explore more and more deeply, because the deeper we see this, the deeper that we see that how our experience is being created through thought from moment to moment, and that feelings are always a reflection of whatever thought we're caught up in or preoccupied with in that moment, that knowledge gives us the capacity to either continue to entertain or occupy ourselves with that thought, or to begin to do something different, to begin to wake up, to begin to move ourselves away from those thoughts. It becomes a challenge when we think that we're feeling something other than thought in the moment. We think that we're feeling the way someone's looking at us, or we think we're feeling the state of the world, or we think we're feeling other people's opinions of us. Well, I'm here to tell you that it just doesn't work that way. You see, your feelings don't know anything about that stuff. Your feelings are just letting you know about the thought that you're caught up with in that moment. And so this exercise is really going to help you create a space between who you really are and the thought experience. And in so doing, you'll begin to notice you'll begin to notice more clarity. You'll begin to notice, you'll begin to fall back into who you really are. Now, you can't disconnect from who you really are, but you can have the experience of disconnection, right, by having a lot on your mind. And so, really, this is an exercise to help take a lot of stuff off your mind and fall back into the seat of who you really are, where you're just more open to clarity, creativity, wisdom. And I invite you, as we move through this exercise, to really look for better feeling thoughts. Look for a good feeling as we move through this exercise. And if you're really in it right now, that may seem like an impossible task. And if that's you, definitely hang out and go through this exercise with me, go through this meditation with me, and I can't wait to see you on the other side of this. So if you're ready to go through this exercise and meditation with me, hit that like button and type yes in the comments below. So now that we've talked about stress and what is stress, we're going to go through the mechanics of this process. And this is a tapping exercise. So if you're not familiar with tapping, you probably are if you clicked on this video. But just in case you're not, I take a very simplistic approach to doing this work. I really look at tapping as a way to pull us out of our troubled thinking. You know, I really look at stress and anxiety, or anything that has us feeling out of sorts, it's really just our body letting us know that we are caught up in thought. When we have these feelings of discomfort, our body is letting us know that we're caught up in thought. And it's as simple as that. And so this process, the way I look at tapping, is really just a way to pull us out of our thought-created realities. I like to see them as trances, really. It's a hypnotic trance. You see, when we get preoccupied with a problem thought, we spend a lot of time in it, and we go there again and again, and it becomes easier and easier to go into that thought reality. Every time we think about the problem and ruminate about the problem, we're going deeper, and it becomes easier and easier to go into that trance. And so the way I look at tapping is really just a way to pull ourselves out of that trance. Again, pulling ourselves away, giving some space between us and the troubled thinking or the troubled thought, so that we are able to see beyond it and see the myriad and the abundance of resources that we actually do have in any moment. So the mechanics of this are we're going to be tapping on certain parts of our body. We're going to use just 5 meridian points. And those points are between the eyes, side of the eye, under the eye, what I call the collarbone. And the collarbone is, if you feel the U-shape bone right here, and feel the tips of the bone, and then go down about 1.5 inches. So you have one on either side. I just call that the collarbone point. I just tap in that general area. And then finally, we're going to squeeze the wrist. And the wrist is a shortcut because you have many meridian points in your hand. And so by squeezing the wrist, you're actually, the meridians themselves run up and down the arm. So you're squeezing the wrist as a shortcut there. That's it. And so what I'll have you do is basically just repeat after me as we go through this meditation. And I'll be calling out the points, and you'll be tapping along the points and just repeating what I say, either out loud or to yourself. And it's really that simple. All right? So if you're ready, let's get started. All right, here we go. So the first thing I'd like you to do is be sure to find yourself in a comfortable position, preferably sitting down somewhere where you won't be disturbed. Obviously, this is not something you want to do if you are operating large machinery or driving or anything like that. So once you find yourself in a comfortable chair, just go ahead and get situated. You may want to move around slightly just to make sure you're comfortably seated. And I want you to notice that you can feel that chair underneath you. And the fact that you can feel that chair underneath you means that it is supporting you now. And anytime you feel that chair, you will be reminded that you are fully supported. Good. And now what I'd like you to do, just go ahead and take a deep breath. Good. Just take a deep breath. Blow it out. Good. And now just take a moment now to scan your body. Scan your body from the top of the head down to the tips of your toes and back again. And just notice what's happening for you right now. Notice any stress, any emotions, any physical sensations. Or maybe you notice you've been stuck in a particular thought or memory or story you've been telling yourself. Just notice what you notice. It's important to know that you can't really do this wrong. It's simply what's happening inside of you now. Notice any feelings of discomfort. And as you notice those things now, I'd like you to notice if it bothers you, and if it does bother you, just give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being nothing at all, 10 being very intense. Where would you rate this experience now? And if you have found something that bothers you, and it is feeling rather intense, see if you can make it stronger now. That's right. Like turning a knob on an old stereo, you can increase this uncomfortable feeling now. And of course, we're increasing it now for the purpose of letting it all go, aren't we? Good. Good. So just notice it. Notice what you feel. Notice what you see in your mind. Notice your experience. And I'm going to ask you a silly question. If I were to grab the roots of a tree and pull those roots out of the ground, what happens to a tree without roots? Good. Now tap between your eyes and just repeat after me. I release and let go of all emotional trauma. Side of the eye, I release and let go of all angers. Under the eye, I release and let go of all fears. Collarbone, releasing all abandonments. Back to your eyebrow, releasing all judgments. Side of the eye, releasing all sadnesses. Under the eye, releasing all helplessness. Collarbone, releasing all guilts, angers, resentments, helplessness, hopelessness, regrets, sadnesses, and everything else this is. I lovingly release and let this go. Good. Now take a deep breath. Grab your wrist and say peace. Excellent. Now go ahead and just open your eyes if they're not open already, and just look around the room, look around your environment, look for something in your immediate environment to really appreciate. Maybe something that you haven't really put your attention on in a while, something that you can appreciate. Perhaps it's a photograph or a piece of art, or maybe you can look out the window. Whatever it is for you, just notice what you can appreciate now. Good. Great. All right, so of course we were talking about whatever it was that was bothering you, right? So what I'd like you to do now is just go back to that same thing that was bothering you in your mind, and I want you to notice what you notice. It may have increased, like it may have gotten worse, or it may be the same, or it may be much, much less, sometimes fuzzy or unclear or even hard to find, or it might be gone altogether. And so what I'd like you to do is just notice what you notice, and if there is anything still there, if there's any aspects of it left that still bother you, just notice what you notice. Notice what's still bothering you. You got it? Good. We're going to do some more tapping. Tap between your eyes and say, I release and let this go. Good. And as you're tapping there between your eyes, really just notice the sensation of your fingers as you're tapping. Good. Side of the eye, say, I release and let this go. Under the eye, I'm okay to let this go. Collarbone, I lovingly release and let this go. Back to your eyebrow, it's safe to let it go. Side of the eye, let it go. Under the eye, let it go. Feeling those fingers. Notice your fingers. Good. Collarbone, let it go. Good. Squeeze your wrist. Take a deep breath. Blow it all away. and say peace. Excellent. Wonderful. Good. And if you haven't already, you can go ahead and open your eyes now. And once again, just look around the room and just notice what's happening, notice what's changed. And know that you can go back to this exercise again and again as many times as you want. And for now, let's just come back into the room. Congratulations, well done. That was amazing. You did awesome. If you'd like to learn more about this powerful technique, I've created a free guide that will take you more deeply into how this technique works and how it can help you. There's a link in the description below this video. Also, I've created a free community on Facebook where I go live every week and answer your questions and really create a dialogue. To join that group, simply click on the link in the description of this video as well. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. This is Alan Combies wishing you health, happiness, peace, love, and clarity. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.